TBT in the regular SC2 thing, or like the regular set, and he lost going 1 racks double expand, double command center, and then in the ace match he came out and played another TBT. Oh, I think it was against STX, because in the ace match he played against last, and then he did a 1 racks double CC again and died to like the exact same thing, which was like fast siege tanks, and not even that fast either. The first time he died was to like, you know, somewhat hidden proxy siege tanks, but the second time just completely standard siege tank push and he just died to it. So that was not good. That was in fact terrible. Apparently it was last in classic, yes. So hopefully either Flash has refined his build to be able to deal with the siege tanks, or he's not going to 1 racks double expand. Having said that, I do vaguely remember in the WCS matches this week that some Terran went 1 racks double expand in TBT. Because I specifically remember like Wolf and Caldor being like, oh, that's kind of interesting, and like not actually knowing that Flash has been doing this, which is quite amusing. I was like, oh my god, he's doing the Flash build, that is terrible. And Wolf and Caldor were like, oh, that's interesting, he just went 1 racks double expand. Anyway, obviously I'm not blaming them or anything. They're already spending a lot of time on casting their own leagues. Don't expect them to follow Pro League as well. What is full-time SE2? Probably like 14 hours a day. Alright, going into the game. In the top left is the red Terran. We have Snow. And in the bottom right, as the blue Terran, we have KT Bolsters Flash. Alright, so wonk. Alright, looks like first SCB rallied over to the ramp here. Gonna make a wall off for Flash. Oh my god, look at that wall, it's so Gosu Flash, you're so good! Sorry, my inner Artosis just came out. Anyway, we're not gonna have a wall here from Snow though, spilling a depot behind his minerals. And that is very neat handwriting from that lovely Fango. I love how she's like peeking out behind the sign. It's so cute, it's like a little kid. And oh, look at this, we have a gas first build from Snow. That's very interesting, look at that. Presumably, well, it could be going for fast banshees or some kind of 1-1-1. Recently we did see some Terran go for this kind of fast gas build, and I assumed it was banshees at the time, but he did just go for like a Hellion drop. I think it might have been, who was it? I think Sky High was playing in the game, but I don't know if it was actually him doing it. I think it might have been the guy who was playing against him. But yeah, normally I would assume this is banshees, but since I've seen otherwise, I'm not really sure. And Flash is just completing his wall now, going out with an SCV scout just to see what's going on. Whereas Snow is getting his own SCV in here, but since the wall is up, it's not gonna get in. And we're gonna lag a little bit. Doesn't seem too bad just yet, but I'll switch streams if it becomes an issue. As usual, we stay on the HD stream until things explode, and then we go to the lovely, lovely esports TV stream in glorious 360p. So, the SCV of Flash does get in here, so we see the gas already down, but he doesn't quite know how early it was taken. And we do see the factory there, planted by the barracks. And just a 1 racks expand from Flash. Hopefully not a 1 racks double expand, especially considering he has already scouted this this fast tech play from his opponent. And there is our death, but no, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to try and keep going. We're not missing anything, I don't think. Seeing a reactor. I think we saw that already. Yeah, okay, it's fine. So it is actually going to be reacted Hellions here, and a Hellion drop. from Snow. As I said, guys, it's not Banshees. You see, they faked out everybody. I'm like looking at the chat, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's totally Banshees, it's totally reprinted Banshees. But once again, just like that other random game on Entombed, it is actually the ultra fast gas into Hellion drop build from Snow. I'm still not sure exactly how this resource balance works, but well, there you go. And Flash, look, he does get his SCV and he sees the reactive Hellions, so he's got to know what's coming now. He's got to know what this is. And well, he's got a bunker at the front. See if anything in the main. He's got his own reactored Hellions, and that could be quite interesting. He's building a depot at the top, so he's going to be able to spot any drops in advance. And this is probably a good response. This is actually identical to the game that I was talking about earlier on in Tombs. I wish I remembered who the players were. I'm fairly certain it was Sky High versus somebody. But essentially, the guy who was defending the Hellion drop also went reactored Hellions, and so he took like almost no damage from the initial drop, but then eventually just lost anyway. And here we go. The drop is coming in here. A couple of Hellions, a couple of Marines, and a couple of SCVs going to defend that quite easily. I think just losing one SCV there that built that depot, and now a couple more Hellions are out. So that drop is done, well, it's done absolutely nothing here. And we are seeing the command center follow-up, as well as a Raven now from that starport. Very interesting choice, but it looks like he still has it rallied really far out, so I hope he fixes his rally point and doesn't have his Raven just like fly over to the enemy base willy-nilly. That's a very interesting choice. And I'm fairly certain this was the follow-up as well. Is this some kind of magic? What build is this? Because if this is the second time I've seen it, there's got to be somebody's got to have done this build in a GSL game or something, and the Kespa players are just copying it because they thought it looked cool. That's what. Like every time I see a funny build in these Pro League matches, I just assume that's what happened. It's like some GSL player did it once, and because you know the Kespa guys, they only watch a few, they probably haven't watched that many games. They're just like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Let me just try doing that. And just do it like 500 times until they know the build exactly, and then they come use it in Pro League. Anyway, oh, Viking's gonna spot that medevac now. Maybe? No, it's not quite far enough up, is it? I'm trying to judge from the minimap. I don't think it's actually seen it. Yeah, the medevac's a little bit too far up. Okay, but the Viking will prevent it from going in anymore. Meanwhile, we do see an additional factory here on that tech lab. Going to be able to pump out some siege tanks. And are we going to see mech from both players? Because that's what we saw in that Entombed game. And both players now with a Banshee, with a bunch of Hellions. I do think we are seeing mech play from both players. This is really, really cool. It's looking like Kespa guys seem to be favoring mech style over just the standard Marine tank that we see from the GSL players. That's very exciting. Kind of bringing it back to the Brood War style TVT. As we saw earlier today, that crazy positional chess game that you have, and looks like that medevac is trying as hard as it can to escape. The Hellion's actually just staying underneath to not let the units drop out, and he's gonna get a shot off. He's trying to do the moving shot, and I think he'll get it. Boom! Bye-bye, medevac. Snow not too happy about that. That's okay. Not the end of the world. Although, you know, Flash, I mean, he's in a very good position because he did go for the 1-rax expand compared to the 1-1-1 opening of Snow. So his expansion, you know, was a lot earlier. And having taken no damage from that drop, his economy is in really good shape. And you can just tell from the supplies. Flash is up at 98 supply against the 84 supply of his opponent. And he's just, you know, getting all his infrastructure up, getting Blue Flame now for his Hellions. Both players getting Blue Flame for their Hellions, and also just getting those siege tanks out that you need as the core of your mech force. Nice little Hellion concave here at the top of the ramp, going to prevent any, stop any big attack from, help stop any big attack from Flash. Flash meanwhile, looks like he's breaking down the rocks to his third, going to think about taking that third base. I'm quite happy that he didn't do some silly, you know, overly greedy build this time. He's playing it safe, and as we can see, it's working out for him. I mean, this is the thing, I don't know why Flash has been using so many greedy builds in his StarCraft 2 games, because, you know, he's a pretty solid player. Even though, you know, and even in SC2, you know, he's a pretty solid player, so I'm not really sure why he needs to be taking so many risks. In the meanwhile, Vikings being pumped out double time here for what's his face, for Snow, whereas Flash just has the Tech Lab on his starboard, so he's actually not able to pump out the Vikings quite as quickly. And look at that, no armor yet either, so he can't get the Thor to help out. So it's going to be a pretty big air advantage soon for Snow, or there already is. It's 8 Vikings to 4 now in Snow's favor. As you can see, both players having that one Raven for the point defense round. And are we gonna have an air engagement? Looks like, oh, he might catch some of these Vikings here. He's running around. I think he's looking for these Vikings. He knows those are the only anti-air here. He's not afraid of any Thor or anything like that. And here we go, he's moving in. The ground units are moving in. There's one Marine supporting from the low ground, but oh, instantly taken down. There's like a little silhouette of a PDD, I think, but I don't know who did that. Oh, it looks like, oh, that's Flash's PDD, but that's so late. Why is that even there? Wait. When did he even launch that? Because it looks like it got dropped after the engagement was already over, like after he lost his Vikings. So Snow doing a good job there, but it looks like, oh man, we're going to have a big engagement here on the ground. The Vikings all going to land to help out, and Snow looks like he is going to take this with a vastly superior siege tank count, as well as the Vikings, oh my god, completely crushing Flash, even using an auto turret there. The Hellions going to go trap that last siege tank. And now Flash is in a world of pain. He's down to 100 supply against the 116 supply of Snow. Snow is just rolling down here. Flash has taken a third base, but I don't know if he can hold it. He does have siege mode now. He's sieging up. He's trying to get a good position, but those Vikings can probably just land on those siege tanks yet again here. What is he going to do? How can he hold his attack? He's macroed up a little bit more. He's even out the supply a little bit, but he's definitely on the back foot now, on the defensive. Snow, meanwhile, while this attack is going on, is taking his third base. Looks like Flash has lifted that starport, not even going to bother with the taking air superiority anymore, just going to use Thors as his anti-air. And here we go, the siege tanks all sieging up, but the Thors doing massive damage. It looks like Flash is going to be able to clean this up, and a bit of a mistake from Snow, overstepping. Being over aggressive with his army, losing a lot of siege tanks there at the end unnecessarily. The Thor is just demolishing them, of course. And Snow will get pushed back, and the thing is, now once again the tides have turned in Flash's favor, having defended the attack. His third base is already up and running, whereas Snow's is not even finished building yet. So once again, Flash just taking the economic lead while defending the attack. And that's all you really gotta do. It's also got a, wow, nice infrastructure advantage as well. That's what's going on here. It's 3 factories, I think it's 5. Was that 5 factories of Flash? Either way, he's in pretty good shape. Oh, these Hellions, though, they might run by. The tanks are nearby, but they're not quite covering it. Oh, Flash, I think he saw it coming, but he isn't able to intercept the Hellions. They do have Blue Flame. They're going to be able to kill a lot of SCVs here. Oh, man, the SCVs are lining up. Oh, no. Looks like doesn't kill too many. But 16 workers killed overall. I think a few of the SCVs were lost earlier on, though, when Flash was defending the attack. He did pull a few SCVs to close with the siege tanks. So that's actually a pretty big hit to Flash's economy. Hopefully they can show the unit tab in a second just to see exactly how many workers both players have. But Flash, I mean, still has a 30 plus supply lead, and is now doing a counter Hellion harass of his own. And actually, the SCVs are already lined up. Snow has no units in position here. There are the Hellions. All the SCVs are going to stack here as they transfer. Oh, SCV, where's the split? Split your SCVs, bro. Split them up. Alright, looks like, once again, not super duper effective, but does kill a handful of SCVs. And just furthering the supply lead now for Flash. Flash now at 153 against the 109 supply of Snow, just pulling further and further ahead here. Just compounding his economic advantage into the macro advantage, and oh my god, there's the scan as well for Flash to make sure there's no units to intercept. He's going to roast a whole bunch of mules as well as these SCVs here. Oh no, man, Snow just dropped like 6 mules on this base. He's going to lose all of them at once. There's the army of his moving towards the 4th base, but there's no base there. He scans, he sees all the units in position. I don't think he can go in, and oh my god, the Hellions actually run into the natural as well. Flash's Hellion harass is doing so much more than Snow's. Look at that, 27, 28, 29 workers killed now by Flash's Hellions. Wow, very, very nice move. And Snow is in big, big trouble. He's in full retreat with his army now. And those Thors just trundling along. Man, Thor's walking along just always makes me giggle a little bit inside. They just look so silly. Anyway, Flash now pushing up towards the watchtower. There's the big siege up, and boom. Snow unsieging and pulling back once again. Wants to find a better position to engage here. Wants to just defend his third base. But Flash, look at this. Flash, look at the minimap. Flash is double expanding. He's taking the left and right expos. He's taking a fourth and fifth base while being up about 70 something supply, 80 supply now. Looks like that, wow, the two fourths actually get taken down by those siege tanks, but Flash with a solid core of tanks of his own. He's actually got almost pure siege tanks here. He's been using his Hellions mainly to harass, and oh, he's trying to run them by again. He will kind of get past. Can he get more SCVs? He is going to get a few more SCVs this time, and ooh, nicely roasted. I do like my SCVs medium rare. And look at that, wow, 39 workers for Snow against 77 for Flash. That's a pretty big economic deficit now for Snow. And Flash is pretty soon going to get out of control with those two extra bases as well. 5 bases against 3, which are probably not, which aren't even saturated. So it's not going to be good. And now Flash kind of has a semi-contained here at the front as well. Some units can still sneak out the fourth base there on the right side, but otherwise Snow is well contained. And oh, look at this, some starports now being added by Flash. Very interesting. Adding on a reactor to that starport. I wonder what he's going for. Maybe he's now going for the air control here. Gonna get some Vikings from that reactor starport, and then just get some Banshees and Ravens from the other two starports. Either way, Snow is pretty dead already, but you know he's gonna hang on in the game a little bit. I mean, if Flash takes this game, then KT will be one game away from a win here in this series. And that would actually be really funny because right now CJ is I believe they're number 1 in the rankings actually. Yeah, they're number 1 in the rankings, and KT is actually 7th. KT actually dropped below SK Telecom, SKT1. So the first ranked team is about to lose, or not about to lose, but has a high possibility of losing to the 7th ranked team today. So, I mean, Snow's just sieging up at his base, but Flash is now maxed and he's at 120 supply. Flash is on 5 bases, he's on 3 bases. And he is not Flash, and Flash is Flash. So, essentially, Flash has every advantage right now. And as I said, we do have Ravens and Banshees coming out from those Tech Lab starports, while Vikings come out from the Reaction 1, so gonna go for that Sky Terran transition. And no continued Viking production, looks like. Oh, actually, it looks like he made 5, but is not making too many more here. Of course, he's probably having a little bit of difficulty deciding how he wants to balance his resources, considering his economy is so shot. He can't really afford to just non-stop produce Vikings out of that starport. And nice little SCV split by Flash. You know, there's a couple here, but not the end of the world. He didn't have that many there in the first place, though. Wait, why is he leaving that one there? Alright, there we go. Oh, it looks like there was a ground attack at the front, so he thought he'd have to pull his Hellions back, but no, it looks like they're actually just moving around the side, and oh man, these tanks of Snow actually, looks like they're going to get trapped here. Thor's moving in, these tanks get taken down, and GG instantly from Snow. Not even going to wait for Flash to get out his Banshees and Ravens. GGing out, and that puts KT Rolster 1 game away from taking the series. They're now up 1-0 in the StarCraft 2 best of 3. CJ is going to have to win 3 in a row to take the series.
이영호 선수가 이제 이 스타크래프트 2에서 처음에 플레이했을 때의 느낌 자체는 경기를 그냥 뭔가 빌드의 그런 상성 관계를 통해서 이기려고 하는 그런 모습들이 많았거든요. 뭔가 빌드 상황에서 우위를 점하는 그런 쪽으로 방향을 잡았다라면 지금은 뭔가 바뀌었어요. 경기를 안전하게 풀어 나가면서 상대방이 어떤 체제를 운영을 하는지 보고 맞춰가는 장기전으로 어떻게든 끌고 가면 내가 이길 수 있다. 뭔가 이런 느낌으로 경기를 풀어 나가는 모습이 바뀌었습니다.
네.